Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. And today, guys, I'm out in the garden. It rained all last night and most of the morning, and it just stopped, and we're expecting more rain later in the afternoon and on through tomorrow. But I came out the other day looking at my broccoli. This bed houses a few more cabbages, broccoli, and one or two Brussels sprouts. And I've noticed that the broccoli is not really doing well at all. In fact, as you see here, this one is starting to go to seed. And I have not gotten a good head of broccoli from any of these, which I wasn't expecting just yet. But what I am getting, I'm noticing, is relatively small. And so what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to pull these out and maybe leave one to go to seed. And because I didn't have any more of the broccoli seedlings on hand, I went to Lowe's and I purchased these 2 packs here, the little 6 packs for about $4. And this is the Lieutenant broccoli, and I've got 2 packs of these. And so what I'm going to do is simply pull these out and put the new ones in because this is first part of May and I still have enough time to get some broccoli before the fall gets here. And normally I probably would have just waited until about August to maybe do a planting of broccoli, but because we've got enough time in the season, I'll go on and plant some more because my grandkids, Ava and Andre, they really love broccoli. So I'm going to make sure I plant some more so that they'll be able to get some of the broccoli out of the garden. But while I'm out here today, just want to share with you how everything's looking. As you can see here, the cabbage and the Brussels sprouts are really getting big, and the cabbages have started forming in the centers, as you can see here. But I've also had some plantings of some other things that have come up, and as you can see here, this is the herb bed, and it's doing really well. But over here is where I planted my green beans, and I don't know how many rows it is, but I have this bed absolutely covered in raised beds. I'm sorry, in green beans. And I'm trying to think of the name of these green beans. Um, but they are very prolific, and probably towards the end of this video I'll probably think of the name of them. But I had to order them from Amazon because they're not typically sold at Lowe's or Home Depot or any of your stores that sells seeds. And in the back here, as you can see, is my corn, and they are coming up nicely. They are about a foot tall. Over here is my spearmint, and this is a container where I've planted some potatoes, and I hope I put the potato in here because I'm not seeing anything. I think I placed potatoes in here, but this is the only container that has nothing coming out of it. So I'll give it another week or so to see if anything will come up. But over here this is my Diva Jones '03 lane with these tires. And of course, if you know Diva Jones '03, she grows a lot in used tires. And so this is my garden that is inspired by her. And in the little smaller beige colored pots, I have my crooked neck squash. And then in the tires, I have zucchini. And they are just coming up. I've put about 3 to 4 seeds in each container. And as you can see, they have germinated nicely. This is the only one that really hasn't done much yet. I may need to add some additional seeds. I'll give it a week or so and see what happens. But pretty much all of them have at least one seedling that has emerged thus far. And over here, this is my potato lane. And I've got potatoes in all of these containers. And now it's time for me to add more soil. And I wish I had just gone on and filled it to the top from the very beginning, because sometimes you can forget to come out and add the additional soil or lose time in the process. So going forward, the next time I plant potatoes, I'll just go on and put the soil up to the level that I would like for it to be and just leave it at that. And then that way, that's one task I don't have to come back to. Here I have some tomatoes planted in this container. More tomatoes here and tomatoes there as well. In this bag, I decided to put more of the green beans. And I have something else coming in here. I'm not sure what it is just yet. I'll allow it to grow. It looks like a tomato, but if so, I may pull it up if that's exactly what it is. But more green beans in here. Oh, the green beans, they're called the strike bush beans. Over here, guys, I have my field peas. And there are 6 rows of field peas. And they were planted every 2 to 4 inches apart. And so this whole bed are my field peas. Over here, I have black beans. And they are just now all coming up as well. And there are 6 rows as well of black beans in here, as you can see. Over here I have my celery. They're doing well, although the tops are becoming tangly, and I have to keep coming out and trying to separate them. Over in here I have my beets, and I've added some more beet seeds over to the right. But then over here to the left, I had so many extra baby bok choy seeds, and so I've just added more of the baby bok choy in here. That whole container there is also more baby bok choy, and more baby bok choy back there. The seeds are so small, and I just shook a whole bunch in a container and looked like they all germinated. And so I've just been basically finding places where I can put them to allow them to finish growing. But I just wanted to share with you what I have growing in the other beds. Now you can see that there are beans and peas growing, black beans, green beans, and field peas. I've got the squash, and all of these, of course, were planted from seed directly sown into the containers or into the raised beds. And the potatoes over there, more tomatoes in the 17-gallon containers. And I've got more tomatoes to plant over in those 2 black 17-gallon containers. The plum tree, of course, with all the rain we've been getting, they've been dropping a lot of the plums off, but there's still some that are hanging on. Really hoping that this corn does well this year. And they are grown about 8 to 10 inches apart. And hopefully that'll help them to get pollinated really well because of the closeness. And the turnips and the mustard greens are really growing. Of course, they're loving all of this rain, and it looks like in the next week or so, I'll be able to come in and harvest a lot of these turnips and mustard greens. And I think these are the 7 top turnips and regular mustard greens. Over here in this bag, I have more potatoes and more potatoes in this bag. In this bag as well. And here are the asparagus. Now I'll probably add some more strawberries to my asparagus bed. And as you can see, here are the collards and the spinach. They're doing really well. I can probably harvest from these now, but I'll probably wait a few more days and harvest just before my farmer's market day. But just wanted to come along and share with you that the broccoli that I sowed back in March into this raised bed is not doing well, going to seed. And of course, broccoli is one of those vegetables that cannot tolerate the hot, the cold, the freezing temperatures, and then warm again. That causes them to go to seed early. So nonetheless, I've purchased some new starts and will be placing them in the raised bed. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future videos. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.